Welcome to the Business Bites Podcast, the podcast for busy entrepreneurs. Whether you're an online entrepreneur or seeking after brick and mortar success, this podcast brings you quick bites of content so you can learn and grow anywhere you are. Now here's your host, Rachel Brainke.
Hey guys, it's Rachel Brainke here. Like always, I'm just going to take a quick bite out of your day to talk to you a little bit about one of the best efficiency and return on investment of my time, money, and energy. I absolutely love this topic. I feel like it's something that's so simplistic that when I share this one piece of information, my complete secret sauce to how I manage my multiple businesses, recording for the podcast, and the 5 kids and 2 rescue puppy dogs, people just kind of have a light bulb moment and they absolutely love it. It's not really earth-shattering, yet it is. So I'm going to tell you, you ready for the secret? It is working in batch processing, batching everything that you do. And I'm going to walk you guys through exactly how I do that, but just batch processing. But before we get to that, you need to kind of understand, okay, well, what is this and how do I get prepared for it? So what it is every quarter, because I break down my year into quarters and months. It's just easier when it comes to taxes, figuring things out, and keeping myself on track, which is a feat in of itself. So every quarter, I sit down for the very first week or two of the quarter, and that's when I create the majority of my content. That's when I do all my strategy stuff. That's when I try to work on my big admin tasks that I need to get done. Now, there's maintenance things that you have to do throughout the months. You still have to answer emails. You still have to pay team members, whether they're independent contractors or employees. And every month I still have to generate my tax reports to pay my sales tax, et cetera, et cetera. But for the most part, every single quarter, I try to sit down and do all my content writing, all my podcast recording, and anything, if I'm going to write for other blogs, if I'm going to guest appear, that is when I do all my scheduling for that sort of stuff. So how does this look like and why do I do it? I do this because I found myself, and I forgot one of the most important things. The whole reason I really even started doing this was to keep me out of the weeds of social media and creation of content so that I can spend more time doing appearances, getting to know my clients, getting to know my audience better. But I felt like I was sitting on social media all the time, and the true engagement that I needed to have where I was interacting with other influencers, getting to know my audience members, responding to comments were falling through the cracks because I was spending so much time trying to figure out what I was going to post for that day. I felt like I literally was tied to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and all of those. And I got so overwhelmed that I was like, oh my gosh, I have to hit all of these because I know that's where my client avatar is. And if I don't reach these platforms and I don't do it at the exact time that my research shows, if I don't do it with the right message, then I am not going to reach them. I'm not going to have a business and my babies are going to go hungry. And you guys kind of know you wouldn't be here listening to this podcast. So I found at the beginning of every quarter, sitting down, and I have hopefully you guys have, I try to do this for the year. I try to write a really high level editorial calendar of all the promotions that I want to do, of all the content that I want to give, all things that are going to be leading up to another event that I may be promoting or doing. So for example, with back to school coming around in September, August timeframe here in the United States, if you're not in a year-round school, which even if you have a year-round school, you guys have a mini little summer that you could capitalize upon. But a lot of times, if you're working with other entrepreneurs or the kids going back to school and maybe your target audience is a mom, their time is going to be freeing up. So I'll look at my calendar when I'm sitting down for the year and go, okay, August, September is about the time that the client that I'm trying to reach out to or the customer that I'm trying to get engaged with, that's about the time that they're going to have some more time to focus on my marketing message. So then that's when I'll backdate myself and I'll go, okay, so August, September, let me go 2 or 3 months back so I can start doing the content spin up through my blog posts, through my email newsletters, through my social media. And that is how, right there, basically tells you how I schedule that all out. So while it sounds a really cumbersome thing to sit down and plan out the entire year, it really isn't that difficult. If you just every quarter take maybe one major event or a time, maybe it's Christmas, maybe it's Black Friday, maybe you have beginning of the year if you work with other entrepreneurs or helping small businesses. People get excited at the beginning of the year. Maybe you're a fitness coach and people get excited about their resolutions. New Year's would be the pinnacle of where you want to gear up to. So you want to backdate that 3 to 4 months because it takes about that long for content really to get out to your audience and for them to really understand it and to buy into marketing messages. So I share all that to say, there's the answer. If you just have 4 quarters and it takes 3 to 4 months to really spin up and truly get someone engaged and understanding and buying into your content, product, service, whatever it is, that is really only 4 major ideas that you need to come up with for the year. 4, that's it. And if you guys are listening to this podcast, I'm fairly certain you have more than 4 ideas. And I'm not saying you can't do more than 4. You can reduce your timeline, shorten them up, be a little bit more aggressive. But bare minimum, you're looking at 4. So when I have 4 quarters coming up and 4 ideas, I already know when I sit down for that first week of the quarter, which it can either be for the quarter that's right there, or you can work a quarter ahead depending on how ambitious you are with your writing and your blogging and your newsletters and your social media posts. But that's when I schedule everything so that I have more time to spend actually one-on-one interacting with the people that I'm trying to reach. I was spending so much time before just so worried and stressed. Got to get the babies down for a nap because I didn't have help at the time. I gotta get them down so that I can write this blog post, so that I can get it out because I've committed that I'm going to get it out today and it has to be out this week because I'm promoting next week. That stress is completely alleviated. If you spend your time of writing all your blog posts at one time, you're going to be a lot more focused. You're going to have better quality content. And I say blog posts, but that can be social media posts and newsletters as well. And so you're going to be a lot more focused. You'll have it done. And let me tell you, you not only will save time because you'll have already forward planned everything out, you'll be a lot more laser focused. Your message will be clear, but you'll also not feel like you're in the administrative weeds of content creation all the time. So now I spend that first quarter, I batch do everything that I need to do for the quarter. I get it all ready. And the great thing is, guys, we are in the world right now where almost everything can be automated. So you can set it up to publish to your WordPress blog, that it automatically drips through your social media. You can have it all set up in CoSchedule or one of those other online scheduling applications to run through and push to your audience at a certain time. And you can set all this up ahead of time. So you're not having to go in and press the button every day. So that every day when you're getting on social media, you're spending more time engaging and getting to know your audience. You're actually able to respond to comments, which not only is going to increase their confidence in you, so they're more likely to buy from you, they feel like they have more attention from you, but it also is going to increase your engagements for all those scheduled posts that you've scheduled for them to be seen. Because that's how the algorithms work. The more interaction and engagement you have, the more likely they're going to be seen. But if you're spending all your time in the weeds of content creation, you don't have time for engagements, it's a complete catch-22. You're not going to be able to get it to be seen, then you're going to get frustrated, then you're going to give up. So my challenge to you guys with this is to try to commit to this batch processing. Just give me 1 quarter. Okay, no matter when you're listening to this podcast, I want you to think from now. And it doesn't have to be the actual quarter of the year. It could be the 3 to 4 months that are sitting right ahead of you. Okay, and I want you to go ahead and look at some couple of things that you can promote in that timeline. And I want you to fill it in with what the content and social media posts that you need to do. Get out a social media calendar, which actually, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and throw an editorial calendar template onto the show notes, rachelbranke.com/pod. And that way you guys can go ahead and download it and you can hand write it. You can also do on the computer, but I really strongly recommend writing things out so you can see the year, see the quarter and everything. You can scratch it out, you can move things around, and then you can input it online. But I really encourage you guys to commit to doing this. I want you to try for an entire quarter and then come back to me and let me know how much freer you feel and how the better return that you're going to have on your time and your investment of your energy into different things. It's honestly, when I started doing this process, I almost felt like I was cheating at first because I was like, oh my gosh, it's all done for the quarter. What do I do for 3 months? I have nothing to write. That's not true. then you can go to the next level of probably your backup to-do list. Instead of having to work on that immediate to-do list of the content creation, you've got your backup to-do list of reaching out to business partners, reaching out to influencers, asking for reviews of your book, or trying to network at local Chamber of Commerce events. You'll have more time to attend that will further your education, further your professional reputation, things that probably have sat on this back burner for years, because now you're going to be freed up to feel and have the time to commit the energy and the attention to these other areas. So that is it. I want you guys to go over to rachelreinke.com/pod, and you're going to go to this episode, check out the template I have available. I'm also going to list a couple of my favorite scheduling resources, and that way you guys can just direct link from there and check out the ones that are available to you. Everyone's got kind of a different dashboard, all these tools do, so and their functions may be different for each of you. I'll go ahead and throw my recommendation in there and to show you what I'm currently using at the time, which may change down the line because tools change, algorithms change, so I don't want to commit to that in this transcript, but I'll keep that episode transcript page updated so you guys are abreast of the most advanced, up-to-date, and best recommendation that I can give you. All right, now it's time to go commit, batch all your content, batch your social media, and thanks for joining today's episode of The Business Bite.
Thanks for joining Rachel on this episode of The Business Bites. For show notes, a list of recommended tools, or referenced episodes, you can find them at businessbitespodcast.com. Until next time.